Today is a very special day. The PlayStation 2 is officially 20 years old. 20 years ago, on the 4th of March, the PlayStation 2 launched in Japan. And I think it launched like a year or a couple of months later in Europe. And I got it a year after that. I clearly remember saving up every penny for more than a year, basically kind of teaching me how to save and how to spend my money to get the PlayStation 2. And I vividly remember one day, it was a Friday, and as a kid, I was 13 years old, I thought that I had enough money to buy the PlayStation 2, but I did not. I checked my bank account or whatever. It was all in papers, of course. And I didn't have enough. And I was extremely disappointed because I honestly believed that I had enough. I went to school, got back home, saw this box from the toy store, and I asked my mom, "What is it?" And my sister was there in the room too, and she said, "What do you think it is?" So my mom said, "It's yours." So I rushed to it. I sat on the couch, I opened it up, and it was the PlayStation 2. It had the demo disc of, I think, SSX or SSX Tricky, one of those two games. Damn, I played that demo so much, and I actually liked the game a lot. It just felt night and day with its graphics and stuff. Like, it was just mind blowing. It was the difference between SD and HD that we have right now. In my opinion, it was that kind of difference. And some months ago, I made a video saying that the PS4 is my favorite gaming console of all time. And even though that is true, it's only because I never had any money to buy a game on PS2. Well, at least not a lot of money. I got allowance and that's it. And I think it was like 20 bucks a month. So I had to save up quite a bit to just get one little game. I never really worked. I worked 2 days at a grocery store, at a supermarket, and that was the same day Final Fantasy X came out. Guess what I did? Yes, I quit my job that I had for 2 days to go out and play Final Fantasy X. So damn worth it. Holy damn, the game is amazing. I did get like 14 or 18 bucks though from those 2 days. I felt freaking rich. But the PS2 has so many good memories. It is just unthinkable. It truly was the last real gaming system, the last real gaming generation. And oh my god, it was a titan among titans. It is the best selling gaming system of all freaking time. It has a gigantic physical library unmatched by any system, even today, completely unmatched. Some say it's like 4,000, but it goes even up to 6,000 to 7,000 individual games. And nobody seems to not really know how many there are, but I can guarantee there are a lot of PS2 games. And of course, you could play PlayStation 1 on your PS2. Something that's hopefully is going to come back with the next generation, but definitely in that period of time, it was like, holy damn, so cool. I can still play my PS1 games on my PlayStation 2. Some of the best memories playing with my friends are on PS2. And one game stands above them all. And that is Time Splitters 2. The amount of fun we had playing that game in virus mode trying to hold out as long as possible. But of course, if you got infected, you did everything you could to infect everybody else. It was so freaking cool. Also, I think it was 16 players you could play. You have bots and stuff. It felt like a freaking mayhem. So many, bots on the screen. So many players could play. So many units on screen. It felt like total chaos. And it kind of was. And dual wielding miniguns. That was so freaking cool. TimeSplitters 2 is such a classic. They kind of should remake it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, THQ, the new one, has the rights for TimeSplitters 2. If I'm not mistaken, for TimeSplitters. And there were some rumors a new one is in the works, but will it be as good as TimeSplitters on PS2? Who knows? Not only that game, but Final Fantasy. Oh my freaking god. I loved Final Fantasy to death back in the PS1 days. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. I got the demo for Final Fantasy 10 on my Final Fantasy 6 because I bought that game. Well, at least my dad bought that game for me on PS1. I did play it, but never really beaten it. And I must have played that demo like 20 million times. That was just, my mind was blown at how good Final Fantasy X looked. Holy shit. And the game is phenomenal. The only thing I was extremely disappointed about was the end of the world map. I love the world maps in these older RPGs, and there are a couple of RPGs like Ni no Kuni 2 and Ni no Kuni that still has world maps, and I freaking love it. I love these old style world maps. But Final Fantasy X did not have that, but it had a memorable storyline, memorable characters, awesome battle system, incredible music. I was just blown away, and I played games like Dragon Quest 8 that I still need to beat. That game was phenomenal too. And Grand Theft Auto, I'm not a huge GTA fan, but the first time I played Grand Theft Auto was Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the only GTA game I ever beaten, and I loved it. I loved Grand Theft Auto Vice City. It was, of course, a game that I've never played before. Like, holy damn, you could just punch someone, get his car, you could drive anywhere. At least it felt like you could drive anywhere. It was truly like my first open world experience that I ever had. And playing Tekken, playing Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 2 is one of my first games that I got from my dad for the PS2, and it's probably my most played fighting game ever. Like, holy shit, I loved Dead or Alive 2. And Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance was my first game my dad ever bought for me. The first game I ever played. I played it in one day. I beat it. I got it at Friday, and kind of like Friday/Saturday night, I beat the game. It felt so small. Like, that's when I remember, like, oh my god, the PS2 games are so small. But of course, I played the whole freaking night, and I love that game. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is such a cool freaking game. There are so many good games on PS2. And you know what the funny thing is? Honestly, I'm not like super into graphics or whatever. I mean, good graphics are really awesome, but I really like the simplistic style of the PlayStation 2's graphics. Somehow it really reminds me of video games. It's really weird. Maybe it's because I was very young when I got the system. It's sort of nostalgic feeling, but somehow when I look at PS1 and PS2, something in my mind says, this is what gaming is. This is what video games should be. Not trying to be real life. You know, I don't want real life. I already see real life everywhere around me. I want to have fantasy. I want to have things you cannot see in this real world. somehow that's what my brain thinks. It's really weird because I mean games like Spider-Man, God of War, Days Gone are mind-blowingly amazing and so they look so freaking good, but I just love the art style and the way they made games on PS1 and especially on the PS2. But I have so many PS2 games, yet I never really play on the PS2. There are still a couple of games I honestly want to play. I still want to beat Dragon Quest 8. I still want to beat Ys on the PS2. Is it the Ark of Nephsim? Yes, the Ark of Nephsim. It's a game I really want to play. I started playing it a couple of years ago, loved it, and somehow I stopped playing it. Maybe because there's some other games that are, that came out at that time. But just the sheer amount of games on the PS2 that I haven't played is staggering. It's weird. Because I love the system so much and I have no problem at all if the PS4 all of a sudden would went away and I would just have the PS2. I'd probably have enough games, and there are enough games for my total life to play. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about probably the best gaming system of all time, and even in going into the future it will never be the same. Doesn't matter how good the graphics are, doesn't matter how many units are on screen or whatever. The PS4 and the PlayStation 5 will never have what the PS2 was and still is, and that is a gaming console. Just put in your DVDs and you can play the game. No patches needed, no of course there are unplayable games on it, but it's not like God of War is unplayable or Final Fantasy X is unplayable because it's programmed shitty and they're like, oh, let's patch the game up. Let's have a day one patch. That's what I mean with unplayable. There are so many games nowadays that are just different. You have to get the day one patch or else you're missing out on a portion of the game. And that really sucks. Yay for limited run, for always looking out and always waiting to get the full game patched with all the DLC. I love limited run games, even though they're extremely expensive. But one of my goals for this year, for upcoming years, if I'm still alive, the virus and stuff, is actually to play more on older systems. I am now, as you maybe hear, I'm at the end of Breath of Fire 2. It took me 60 hours, but I am almost at the end boss. I am at the end boss, but I'm too weak. I can't freaking defeat the end boss. And that will be my first Super Nintendo game I have ever beaten, and what a game it is. Breath of Fire 2 is freaking amazing. But yeah, this video is probably already a lot longer than you wanted it and a lot longer than I expected it. Leave it in the comments below. What did you think about the PS2? Do you actually still play on the PlayStation 2? I'm actually now at a Facebook group, and there's a lot of games out there who stick with their PS2, who does not have a current gen system or going to buy a next gen system. They're just playing on their PS2s. It's actually very, very cool actually. So leave it in the comments below, and like always, you're gonna see me next time.